What's going on? This is kind of Comic Book Mania.
This is a Comic Book Mania special event.
We're talking about Daredevil today, but before we get to that, we're going to be talking about news, which we do every week. We're not going to stop. News. We're going to keep on going. I didn't want to do this, Dante did.
They need to know
the
news.
They can look it up themselves.
That's just rude.
Alright, Avengers 2 is tracking to be the biggest weekend opening ever in history.
Even bigger than Harry Potter.
Yeah, pretty much. I think you're going to enjoy this piece of news.
Okay.
Ben Hardy confirmed as Angel and possibly Archangel in X-Men Apocalypse.
Who's Ben Hardy?
He's a really good actor.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know.
I do like Angel, though.
You do like Angel.
He's got beautiful wings.
And he might be Archangel in this movie. So that you would appreciate that.
I can give or take.
One of my favorite newses of the week. News of the week. Jared Leto poses in Killing Joke inspired photo.
I must be honest. I'll put the picture up.
Yes, please. You always say that, but you never do.
It's because I always forget when I'm editing it.
I will tell you when to edit this. Okay.
I didn't like the picture.
It
was dull.
It's a very dull picture, but it gives you an idea what they're going with.
Not even though.
With Joker. They want to make him into...
It was boring because
the
he's just
Killing
like...
Joke Joker.
I was like, put a smile on! Make us think you're the Joker!
He's getting there.
He was like, this is dull, Jared Leto. This is 30 Seconds to Mars, Jared Leto.
And then you're going to be like, when they actually make him into Joker, you'd be like, that is Joker Jared.
Or, watch, they're going to do it and he's going to be horrible, and then you're going to be like, I want my money back.
I've said it on the show before, I think he's going to be the best Joker, so we will come on camera eventually when the movie comes out. It's 2016. Or it's 17. Is it just that 16? I don't know.
Aquapack?
My phone did that. I will get on camera and say I was wrong or I was right. Okay.
Yeah.
In Aquapack news, Aquaman, James Wan, who directed Conjuring, Fast and Furious 7, and I think Sinister, and some of the Saw movies, is in the front runner to direct Aquaman, the Aquaman movie.
All right.
The quote was, he's going from cars to fish. Yeah, I thought that was stupid.
That's very stupid.
It was.
I really hope you made that up.
No, actually somebody put that.
Oh, great.
Okay. Someone important dies in Avengers Age of Ultron.
I know who it is.
Who?
Ultron. Fucking dumbass.
I think they mean someone other than the villain.
They didn't say that. They just said someone important.
I think either Hawkeye or Black Widow.
Oh, kill Black Widow.
Black Widow, I think, is going to die. She's got the Ghost in the Shell movie, and she just got cast as the lead in the Creature of the Black Lagoon remake.
Yeah.
In other Avengers news, Mark Ruffalo is interested in doing a Planet Hulk movie.
Mark Ruffalo?
Mark Ruffalo. I thought you would like that.
I would love to see that.
I've never seen the Planet Hulk movie.
Because then it could set up into World War Hulk, and that would be fucking amazing.
You're a bigger Hulk fan than I am.
Do you know what World War Hulk is?
I have no idea.
Hulk comes back from Planet Hulk with his army, and he takes over Earth. Well, tries to.
You want that to happen.
That would be so cool!
Okay. In Deadpool news, TJ Miller says Deadpool movie start of Deadpool franchise, which I love.
Which they could mix that into the either X-Men
or Fantastic Four. Or even the Marvel Universe.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully. Marvel's Doctor Strange to start filming in November.
I'm sorry.
That was your phone.
I'm sorry.
I'm usually the one that does that.
I'm sorry, I'll move it.
Where'd you have it? This is what I have to deal with.
It's on the floor.
Okay. What do you think about that? Doctor Strange?
I can't wait.
I can't.
Isn't it
Benedict Cumberbatch?
I was going to say Benjamin Cumberbatch.
In other Doctor Strange news, he may or may not be British.
They never deciphered that.
Is he British in this?
I don't know.
Well, he's never been live action, so we never.
Yeah.
Well, the
movies. They made him like
kind of. In Spider-Man news, there's a lot of Spider-Man news from Kevin Feige. Basically,
it was Fiji.
It's Feige or Fiji. I don't know. Fiji, Feige.
Fiji. It's snowing on
that. He says Spider-Man's going to be in high school, but there's not going to be an origin story.
It's Peter Parker.
It's Peter Parker. And then he goes on to say Kevin Feige says Miles Morales could fit into the MCU later on. Which I'm really disappointed because I really wanted Miles Morales to
I
be
want
in
to see
there.
Spider-Man 2099.
Do you?
Yes,
I heard that comic books is really good.
It's so awesome.
There was supposed to be more Thanos and Guardians, which
Yeah.
you kind of understand. It looked like there was supposed to be a lot more.
Yeah, they did well with what they had.
It's a great movie. Marvel's Daredevil made James Gunn cry twice. And there's a quote that he says when he cried. In the first few episodes, I cried twice. Once in a scene between young Matt and Battling Jack, which we're going to talk about because that scene's freaking amazing. And again, when I realized this character I loved so much for so long had been brought to television with such spirit, love, and care. And he goes on to say that a really long... Check out the Facebook post if you haven't already.
Yeah.
He goes on to say this.
If anything, you put it in the description.
Yeah, this is one of the best TV shows he's ever watched, and we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. Ryan Reynolds hit by car, no injuries reported. He was on the set of Daredevil.
He is Daredevil.
Not Daredevil. Deadpool.
He's Darepool.
Darepool. Yeah, so no injuries, thankfully. Yeah. They also released a kick-ass. Well, a fan did. Fan-made art poster, and it looks so good.
It says, with great power comes great irresponsibility.
And he's flying through the air on an umbrella. And
well, no, he's jumping off a roof.
They are getting the tone of this movie down so good.
Well, that's a fan-made thing.
I don't even care. The amount of fans behind this movie, I love.
That's why I'm hoping they drop the ball. That's why it's like...
No!
Oh!
Listen, Marvel. Fox, whoever's directing this, or...
Listen, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, if you screw this up for me, I will kill you.
You may have been on the Bad Game Boys.
You were on the Bad Game Boys. Go check that out. It was on Monday's episode. No, it was on Friday's episode.
Right up here.
I'll put it up there. Do not screw this up. Deadpool's my favorite superhero. Please don't screw this up. You screwed up Green Lantern, even though it wasn't much.
You screwed up Deadpool once. You will not screw him up again.
He didn't screw. We've had this discussion already. Okay. So yes, please don't screw this up. I'm really looking forward to this.
You do it and I'll kill you.
Marvel releases new Ant-Man trailer, which is amazing.
Oh my! You have to put that in the description.
I will.
It was so good. We got the first look at Yellow Jacket.
Yes, he looked great.
He looks pretty.
And the comedic timing in that movie looks fantastic.
Yes.
And I'm so excited.
It looks like
I've said this since he was announced as Ant-Man. He is going to be a fantastic Scott Lang. And I think it's going to fit
very well with the Marvel Universe.
Yes, it's going to be perfect.
When they bring him in for Age of Ultron?
I don't think they're bringing him in.
No, they're not.
No, it's Civil War, more than likely. And then the whole...
Scott Lang wasn't a part of...
It was Hank Pym.
Yeah.
They can't bring Hank Pym now.
And Hank Pym was Yellow Jacket at the time.
Yeah.
So, what do? And Yellow Jacket wasn't always a villain.
Spider-Man was... Well, Spider-Man's going to probably be in Civil War at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they could do.
Say?
Daredevil better be in Civil War.
I just want the one scene.
Yeah, it's a great scene.
You don't even know which one I'm talking about.
The one where he, where he's getting taken away. I know what scene you're talking about.
Really?
I read Civil War.
He's not getting taken away.
He was being taken away.
He's already in there. And they were like, did he have anything on him? And he goes, yeah, a silver coin. And he goes, there you go, Judas. I was like, damn!
In Suicide Squad news, Ike Barinholtz from whoever watched Mad TV, he was really funny with
Bobby Lee.
They did a lot of great skits on the show. Is up for Hugo Strange in Suicide Squad.
Dr. Hugo?
I am actually looking really forward to that casting. I don't know why, but it could be hysterical, but I think he could knock it out of the park too. I reserve judgment for any person because nobody thought Heath Ledger was going to do fantastic as Joker. And after Brokeback Mountain and everything.
Brokeback Mountain was a good movie.
I've never seen it.
It's really good.
Okay. Jim Parrick, who was in True Blood, is up for the Deathstroke role because he was in the picture with Ike Barinholtz and all of them. They took a cast photo. I think we reported that on last week. And they're in there and they were reportedly going to be up for these roles. Joe Manganiello is probably not going to be Deathstroke because he's got a lot going on with like Magic Mike and all that stuff. So... I liked him on True Blood. You probably don't know who this guy is. He's a...
Wasn't Joe Manganiello on True Blood?
Yeah, he was too. There's a lot of True Blood people, yeah. Joss Whedon's first Ultron cut was 3.5 hours long.
And I'm going to be honest, I don't mind.
I would have saw it. I would have paid to see it immediately.
I would watch a 3-hour Hulkbuster armor versus Hulk fight.
Yes, I would watch that in a heartbeat.
Oh.
I think this is going to be probably one of the best superhero movies ever made.
Did you hear about the...
I have one more piece of news after
Well, I know, but this is jumping in with...
Okay, go ahead.
Segue. Did you hear about there's... It's not really a spoiler, but it's a piece of armor that's used to fight off the Hulk.
Oh.
It's called the Veronica.
The Veronica.
Because... and Joss Whedon is quoted as saying that it's due to the Archie comics.
Oh, really?
Because... The whole
I heard there was
Bruce Banner loves Betsy.
Yeah, I heard
Betsy, and it's is it Betty?
Betty.
And so the Hulkbuster armor has a thing called the Veronica to stop it, to stop him.
Cool.
I was like, that is really cool.
Prediction time. What do you think is going to be the best scene in the entire movie?
When they fight Ultron.
I think Hulk is going to be. I heard Hawkeye has like a really important part.
Hawkeye's a bitch.
You don't like Hawkeye. We're talking about Avengers. Hawkeye is the least of the...
Scarlett Johansson.
I heard them two have, like, the biggest roles in this movie.
Why? She sucks.
Joss Whedon has come out and
Am
said...
I always picking up after you, boys?
She loves Scarlet
I hate her.
But he said, I think...
No, Scarlet Witch is awesome.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch. I mean, Black Widow.
I hate her. She's so boring.
But I think the Hulkbuster fight's going to be the best scene in the entire movie.
I think it's the Ultron fight.
Oh, Ultron's going to be great.
Anything with Ultron.
Do you think he's going to be better than Loki?
Yes.
You think so? Really?
I think he's going to be caliber with Thanos.
Do you think he'll be on par with Heath Ledger as Joker?
Yeah.
How iconic he is. You think Spader's going down?
The way that...
The trailer's already put him out.
There's no strings on me.
I have to agree. I don't disagree with you on that one.
He could basically, and I hate to say this for you, he could take that throne.
Do you think he'll be better than
Heath Ledger?
Okay, wow, that's
he has the caliber.
Okay, I will reserve judgment.
Who fucking plays him?
James Spader.
Thank you. You just said that.
Love James Spader. He's a great actor.
Yeah, and I think
So right now we're putting it on camera.
I feel James Spader
April 15th, this day will be on.
Yeah.
You're saying
we're dating ourselves.
You're saying James Spader will be better than Heath Ledger.
Yes.
Wow, that was. I don't think anything.
It's a bold prediction, but
because I've said Jared Leto's going to be better than Heath Ledger, which I've never.
Which that still has a chance, but then again, he has to be better than James Spader.
So we'll see when it comes out in 15 days, which will be the video when this video's out.
Wow.
2 weeks. We'll be seeing the Age of Ultron. And last piece of news, because I don't need my phone for this one. Olivia Munn has been cast in X-Men Apocalypse as Psylocke. I said last week that I was more excited about this than you were because you didn't care. But when you heard Olivia Munn was going to play Psylocke...
Olivia Munn's hot.
She is. You know she's dating Aaron Rodgers?
No, she's dating me.
No, not you.
In my dreams.
Are you Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Afro ball.
Jennifer Lawrence, call me, please. As always...
Anna Kendrick, I love you.
And now we're going to talk about quite possibly one of my favorite things that I've ever seen. I'm going that high.
Porn?
This is higher than porn.
Nothing's higher than porn.
Okay, this is a little bit below porn.
Nothing's higher than
We're going to be talking about Marvel's Daredevil on Netflix.
Yes.
And
this is the first Marvel show we'll talk about on here?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And it's a Bad Game Boys exclusive special
event. This is
our
first review, too.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So as always, if you like for the people that are leaving that don't want the spoilers for Daredevil that are going to go watch Daredevil, and I recommend it,
please.
Don't watch this video until you watch Daredevil. Or watch up until this part and then go watch Daredevil.
Because you need to
know
the
13 hours later, come back and watch.
It was 13 hours.
It's
Jesus
amazing.
Christ. It was better than that. So thank you guys so much. Like,
comment,
and subscribe. We'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.
Whee! Here I go. Whee!
Let's talk about Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Alright, overall, before we get started, I wasn't a big Daredevil fanatic.
I wasn't either. The movie with Batfleck.
Batfleck, yes. Yeah, Daredevil the movie absolutely sucks.
Compared to this.
No, just in general, sucks in general.
You heard Bullseye.
Colin Farrell.
Is that who that is?
Bullseye.
I'm Colin Farrell.
Oh, God.
Oh, Colin
Farrell. My favorite part of that movie, though, is when he kills the old lady on the plane.
No, the best part of that movie is when fucking...
Batfleck.
No, when she comes out and she's like, I'm Elektra!
And then she gets stabbed in the head by Bullseye, which is great. That movie, if you look at it as a comedy, is freaking hysterical. Just like Green Lantern. Green Lantern is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, if you look at it as...
Comedy.
Same with Origins.
No, that's just bad in general. There's no redeeming qualities about that movie. So yeah, like I said, we both weren't big fanatics, but that's like any show that we've been watching, comic book wise, has made us into bigger fans of these series.
Well, the thing is, I watched the show, 5 episodes. I had work the next morning. I stayed up until 3 a.m. We live on the East Coast.
Yes.
It was not released until 12 midnight West Coast. That's 3 a.m. this time. I had work at 8 in the morning the next day. What did I do? I stayed up all night till 3, watched 5 episodes, went to work, had my day.
He texted me exactly at 3:30 and said, I'm watching Daredevil. That's
Bitch.
Paraphrasing. No, you said something else, but I'm paraphrasing.
Did I?
I'm not going to show the
Yeah, we'll show it to me later.
No, yeah, you texted me and I was asleep because I had work at like 10, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to bed.
I walked into work and I was like...
I called him and I was like, I watched part of the first episode. I love it already.
I was like, I'm 6 episodes in, and you were like, wait, what?
We're not going to do an episode by episode recap.
We were going to,
but it's too long of a video. We'll talk about our favorite things about it, what we didn't like about it, and overall what we think is going to happen.
I figure, on a scale from 1 to 10, before we even start talking about it,
Okay.
what would you give this show, just to give the fans...
9.5 out of 10.
9.5?
So good.
Go a little 9.
9? Still fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I think... I can't believe I'm saying this, but it beat out Flash and Arrow as my favorite TV shows of all time.
I'm quoting myself. I was talking to a few of my friends about it. It basically... The first episode, the first fight scene is in the first 2 minutes of the episode. An amazing fight scene. It shows Daredevil's true, like, who he is, and it's outstanding.
Oh God, this is the choreograph in this.
I watched the first episode, and I was talking to my friends, and I was like, this show was basically... It had DC sitting there, and they're like, we're high and mighty, we got TV, oh, all you have is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you have a few shows coming out, whatever, we got
Daredevil
Arrow, we got
Constantine, boom, all out of the
They were
water.
sitting there, we got Constantine, we got Gotham, we got Flash, you can't beat us. First episode, and Marvel went, that one's for you.
We've been talking for
They
months.
took their hat off, and...
We've been talking about how we were
excited
We're
for
DC mania, DC comic book mania, basically, at this point.
I consider myself Marvel.
Well, no, because we never talked about a Marvel TV show.
That's because we're not caught up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
This just outdoes them all.
It was that
And we've talked about our love of Flash and our love of Arrow. I love Arrow more than you love you like Flash more than I do love Arrow.
Yeah.
Whatever. This show does dark better than Arrow. Does comic book better than Flash, and I don't say that.
It was dark, it was gritty, it was gruesome.
Let's just put it this way, it was the Dark Knight of comic book shows.
No. Let's put it this way. There's a scene where Wilson Fisk, a.k.a. Kingpin...
I never called him Kingpin in the show, which
was great. Beat the shit out of a man, then laid him down next to a car door and kept wailing until his head was gone.
Your first fight scene, you actually see blood and everything, and I'm like, this is different than anything I've ever seen on
what was great about that fight was he throws the taser, and it bounces off the carrier and hits the guy. From day one.
9.5 and a 9 out of 10. That should tell you something how
That's
good...
That's an 18.5
I don't think I gave any episode lower than like an 8.5. Like if I was to rate every episode.
There were a few episodes.
There's one episode in particular, I was talking to you about this. It's episode 9. It's called... actually, I'm going to pull it out because...
Okay. You have it up.
I have all the episode. It's called Speak of the Devil.
Ah, yeah.
And this is the only episode I'm going to talk about personally because it was... If you want to know how good this show is, this is the best episode in the entire series for me.
Well, don't just watch episode 9.
No, you have to watch the entire... It's 13 episodes. It's a day out of your life if you're going to binge watch it, or a couple days you do what you have to do.
It was 3 days for me.
It was a day for me because I started Saturday, 12 o'clock, and I waited...
it was a day for me because I started at 3 in the morning and had work at 8.
This episode, you get Daredevil confronting Fisk for the first time in an art gallery. Fisk is dating this girl, Vanessa.
Daredevil didn't...
Matt, not Daredevil, yes. You know what, actually, I loved the pre-Daredevil outfit.
The black mask?
I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me, and I love the suit.
You know why I liked it?
Why?
Look at the outfit again and tell me what you think of. There's one person in particular you should think of when you say
Black Panther? No. I thought of Black Panther when I saw it.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist, yeah. They had a lot of stuff setting up Iron Fist and all of it. But back to this episode.
Well, was setting up, that's Madame Gao.
She's for Iron Fist.
Yeah.
That's that whole set. The whole thing with Stick that happens in episode 7 with the child.
Who was the guy Stick was talking to?
I forget his name, but it's leading towards, I think, Iron Fist. Too.
I thought it was leading towards...
Luke Cage.
Yeah.
A.k.a. Jessica Jones. Well, this entire thing is leading towards that.
Yeah. The scene... I just want to talk about Matt Murdock's past.
Can I talk about my episode?
I can't. It's...
Just go the shadow of the whatever it's
Speak of the Devil.
Speak of the Devil. He fights the guy Naboo. Naboo fucks Matt up in that scene, and then he finally confronts Kingpin versus Daredevil.
Literally, this is now Kingpin versus Daredevil.
And Kingpin whips his ass, and it's
Why did he let him live?
He didn't. Wesley was supposed to kill him, and then Daredevil made the other guy was with him turn around and shoot at Wesley, and then he escapes.
Okay, I didn't remember that.
Kingpin didn't kill him. He should have finished the job.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and talk about what you want to talk about.
But they show Matt Murdock's past.
The origin story.
This was by far one of the most
It was shorter than the movie, but it got so much more. The first scene got so much more done to show you what kind of the show is going to be.
For those of you that know how Daredevil got his powers, good. For those of you that don't, I'll tell you real fast. Mm-hmm. Basically, he was a child. He sees an old man in the street who's about to get hit by a car. He runs, pushes. Well, no, he wasn't a kid in the comics. I don't think.
I think he's.
I don't know. I'll have to, but whatever. He pushes the guy out of the way. The truck swerves. Hazardous waste falls out, splashes on his eyes. His eyes burn. It gets into his eyes, and it gives him these powers. Now, you might think, well, Daredevil's just blind. It's his power.
He's not blind.
No, he's not just blind. When the rain hits, he can see everything.
God, don't bring up that terrible movie. No, they did it so much better in the show.
It was so good in the movie.
Oh, God. In the movie.
It's raining. I can see everything.
Oh, my God. No, this one...
Shut up, Batfleck.
This one, it explained his power so much better.
Oh, yeah.
He tells Foggy and everybody who asked him about it that he sees a world on fire.
Yeah.
And I thought that's apropos for this.
And... a little trivia fact, for those of you that don't know, the ooze that got into Matt Murdock's eyes is also the same ooze that made the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Was it?
Yep.
Did they put that together?
It's confirmed.
Oh, that's awesome.
The TMNT creators confirmed it.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
That's fucking awesome.
So there's one part I want to talk about real quick. The scene that made James Gunn cry.
With
his father.
Where his father...
There's two scenes in particular I want to talk about. First off is when he comes home and he stitches him up.
I thought he gives him scotch.
That was like...
He's like, can I have
that
a sip?
Is a great scene right there between them two. And then the
can
second
I take
scene...
the bottle? No.
This is after he gets his kind of blindness, but he doesn't. He's overhearing the conversation he's having with the promoters, his father, and he's like, you need to take a fall.
Do you know who he's fighting?
Who was it? I forgot.
Creel.
Was it Creel?
Do you know who that is?
No, I have no idea.
That's the Absorbing Man.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
That's the same Absorbing Man.
That's a fun fact.
From Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's pretty cool.
You didn't know that?
I never knew that. Yeah. So, he overhears this, and Matt is like, okay, my dad's going to lose the fight. So,
well, no, he basically figures, not my dad's going to lose. My dad's going to drop this fight.
Yeah, he needs to.
My dad has never dropped a fight. He's never lost on his back.
So,
because they say that.
Yeah.
Murdoch's never give up.
Yeah. I love that. By the way,
I love that the priest knew the whole time.
I know, it was great.
What do you think, I was an idiot? I just didn't think you knew.
The scene in the trailer, we'll get back to this in a minute, but the scene in the trailer where they show him, where he talks to the father, and he's like, forgive me, Father, what I'm about to do. So good in the show. How they did that. But he's Matt's father goes to the gym where he's at, and he calls up his booker, and he's like...
Well, Matt talks to him. Yeah. And he goes, you're going to win tonight, Dad. You're going to beat him. Because Murdoch's never quit, and he basically guilts him.
He's like, oh, God, it's so good.
And, do you want me to...
God, you can talk about that.
And so, basically, Jack Murdoch...
Great name, by the way. Great name for a boxer. That's a great name.
Calls up his bookie, and he's like, put all of it on me, and then I want you to send it to this address. Yeah. As soon as it's...
Send it to it was a bank account.
Yeah, send it to this account.
Yours bank account?
No.
He's like, no, it's set up for my son, Matthew Murdoch.
Yeah. And then he basically just tells him what to do, because he knows what's going to happen.
Who does he call? Is it his mother that he calls after that? Or is it the orphanage that he calls?
I think it was the orphanage.
The orphanage. Because he calls the orphanage and he's basically like, can you take care of him because for the first time.
Oh, no, that was his mother.
That was his mother. Okay, making sure.
Yeah.
His mother's a dick too.
Yeah.
He just leaves him up.
And so basically, he wins the fight. And he goes in the back and he gets all of his stuff. And then he hears the doors open and you hear, Murdoch. Yeah. Murdoch. And he looks out.
And his son is on the couch, like, cheering him on. This is making me tear. I'm like, this is so ready.
Sitting on the chair waiting for his dad like he always does. And then he hears a gunshot. And Matt runs out. By the way, the body didn't look like his dad.
I don't think it was. It was a dummy, yeah.
Well, no, even so, it's still...
And he goes outside, and the cops are like, you can't be here, kid. And he's like, yo, dude, he's blind.
Yeah.
So he goes off, and
he's sitting there crying. He's like, it's my dad. And he starts touching his face, and he figures it's his dad. And then... So...
Origin story perfect. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's not like the Spider-Man origin story where I've seen it a million times, or the Batman origin story, which I've seen a million times. I've only seen this once, and it was done terribly. And I'm glad I said this before the show aired. I said Daredevil would be a better TV show than a movie. I think you can make Batman into a movie, fine. It's always going to do well. Superman, I didn't like Man of Steel, but a lot of people did.
But Smallville did very well.
Smallville was better than the movie. I haven't watched a lot of it, but it's a lot better than the movie in my opinion. Stuff like this, you need a TV show.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was a better TV show. The animated series. I thought.
Okay. I was gonna say.
No,
what
that
one are you talking about?
Shit from the '80s. No, but okay. So let's talk about what we loved about the series because there's a lot to love about this series. Let's get the negatives out of the way because I don't think we have a lot to talk about with negatives.
Nah. One of my negatives was Vince.
Really, I loved how they did this.
I'm gonna be honest. For the first 10 or 11 episodes.
Really?
I did not like him.
Really?
No. Yeah, 10 episodes, because 10 was when they gave him his origin story.
Yeah, which was really good.
Which was fantastic.
I'm glad they gave him an origin story.
So it was for the first 10 episodes. Up until then, I wasn't a fan. I was like, he's a pussy.
You know what? I gotta counteract with that. The origin story fixes all that.
Yes.
It does.
That's why...
But I counteract it because... They could have made him so cliche. They could have made him...
That's what I wanted.
I didn't want that. I wanted a different take on it.
I wanted bulky
Charlie Cox
guy.
is Daredevil. So different. So good, though. But I liked it. They made him more human. Kingpin in the comic books is a big, brooding guy that...
He can't get hurt.
He can't get hurt. This made him humble and...
They made him, like you said,
You cared
human.
about him. By the end of the series, I didn't want Daredevil to capture him. I wanted him to get away with Vanessa. I don't know why. I felt for the kid, the guy. And it's great. Vince, I can't pronounce his last name.
Deflagargabla.
Fantastic job as Kingpin.
He did very well.
So good. I liked it more than you. You didn't like it. I loved it. I love what they did with the character.
I didn't. I'm not saying I did. For the first 10 episodes, I didn't like it.
I figured
After
that.
My heart
I liked
was his.
it because he didn't know how to talk to women, which made me laugh. That was so cool. He didn't know how to talk to people.
I don't know what to say here.
He doesn't know how to talk to people, which makes it great. Because when he finally reveals himself... Because it all makes sense, because for the first couple episodes, no one knows who you're talking about.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Kingpin is,
for the first 3 episodes, they do not say
It's
Wilson
basically
Fisk.
like Voldemort.
Yeah.
It's
he who shall not be named.
And it's great because it builds up, you're like, oh shit, this guy's gonna be brutal. And then you see him trying to get on a date with Vanessa, and it's great because it's so different. He could have been the Kingpin from the comic books, and everybody would have been, okay, this is what we expected. This was different. Yeah. I like this.
Well, like I said, it was his origin story also.
Oh,
to him leading up to being
They
the
spent
Kingpin.
as much time on the heroes as they did with the villains.
Oh, yeah.
The Russians, who I didn't think were going to get that good of a part.
Vladimir, did you love Vladimir?
Fantastic part. But his brother, not so much, but Vladimir was fantastic.
At the end, when Daredevil saves him...
The only villains I didn't think they give a lot of time to, even though it looked
the Japanese?
Like... Gao didn't, but I think they're
Madame Gao did perfect.
They're getting her set up for Iron Fist, which I'm okay with.
Maybe.
And Owlsley.
Well, who did he keep referencing? Who did Owlsley keep referencing?
Who did he reference in the show?
His son.
Oh yeah, who's his son in the comic books?
There's speculations that he might be the villain known as the Owl.
Okay, well it makes sense. That does make sense.
Exactly.
I mean, I still loved every villain they had on this show.
Madame Gao was my favorite when she's talking to Wilson, and he's asking Wesley like, "Okay, so what is she saying?"
Yeah,
and she's like, "Don't play stupid with me. You can understand me." And he goes, "Shit, how long did you know?" She's like, "I am a master of deception."
She says something. She's like,
"A fool cannot be
deceived," or something like that. It's a great quote. She has a fantastic quote.
She was basically a human fortune cookie.
She was. I think Owlsley says that at one point.
Well, no. The best was when Daredevil
meets her.
Well,
that's great.
When he storms the place.
Yes.
And he sees her, and she's like, "Balawa!" And all the blind people start attacking. He's like, "No, I'm helping you."
That's great. And then with one palm thrust, she takes him out. That's why I cannot wait for Iron Fist, because that's going to be fucking awesome. She's going to be the main villain, which I'm really looking forward to.
She's not.
Really? You don't think so?
No.
She'll be a really big villain in that show.
No. Not to Iron Fist.
So, so you didn't like Kingpin.
Yeah.
The first 10 episodes.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
What didn't you like?
What I didn't like? I don't know. There wasn't a lot to not like in this show. I think they covered a lot of bases. I think after episode 9, they slowed down a lot up until the finale when Foggy and Daredevil, Matt Murdock, Foggy finds out that Matt is Daredevil after he fights Naboo, I think his name is.
Yeah, and then it almost punches Foggy in the face for calling the cops.
Yeah, and but that was a great episode.
Oh,
Them talking together, and they get emotional at the end, and
Whee! Here I go. Whee!
Hi. Whoops. All right.
So Foggy finds out Matt is Daredevil. They have a great talking together. And that episode was amazing. Karen in the first couple episodes, I didn't really like. But she grew on me eventually. You're gonna Karen everywhere. She was great. She played on True Blood. A lot of these True Blood people are playing in these DC movies, which is great.
This is a Marvel show.
And Marvel. And comic book movies in general. TV shows too.
These DC movies.
Did you dislike anything else in the show? There wasn't a lot to hate. Seriously, this is fantastic.
It was made very well.
All right, let's talk about what we loved about the show, which is everything else.
I love the show.
Show was great, amazing.
The Daredevil costume at the end. I did have one problem with it.
What?
The eyes.
I thought it looked a lot like the Flash's kind of suit.
Well, I didn't like it because, and I'm taking off my glasses to demonstrate. It had that whole, like, oh, I actually have eyes here, but there's no eye holes.
You wanted him to have, like, the white eyes and everything.
Flat.
Yeah, okay. I like the suit in general. I think it was great. I
like the horns.
The horns are great. That was a great part.
I want to see him use them.
I like how he gets his name, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode, at the end of the season finale, he's running away after he beats the shit out of Kingpin. Which the fight scenes. Let's just talk about them. Were outstanding. The first fight scene you liked a lot, which was I think it was your favorite in the show. Mine was the second episode when he goes after the boy, the kid, and he goes through the hallway
and he's just taking on. There was what, like 10?
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. That scene was perfect.
Hi, I'm Matt.
Oh, it was great. You don't have to be afraid anymore.
The little boy's like, how do you know where you're going? You don't have eyes.
Oh, it's great. Oh my god.
He didn't say that. It'd be funny as hell.
Actually, I do have one more thing that I didn't like about the series. Some of the characters, like, disappear for a while, like Claire. she just goes away.
Rosario Dawson was doing
Claire was great. I loved Rosario Dawson in this, but she just goes away.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Karen in this show?
I thought she was great.
She was good, right? Her storyline, I think, was the least interesting, but it was still good.
But you know who Karen is, right?
She dates Daredevil.
She eventually,
Matt.
yes.
Yeah, she dates Matt in the series. They kind of allude to that at the end of the season.
Where they're like, "Come on."
And she takes his hand. I thought her and Foggy were gonna get together.
Take mine.
No, I thought her and Foggy were. It was.
No, he's gonna go with that ugly fat chick.
Stacy, whatever. Marcy. No, but
Foggy Bear. Don't call me that.
I think Foggy was the breakout of the season. I didn't think he was going to have as big of a role. There's one thing I hate in comic books is when the best friend finds out that your best friend is a superhero. And they just flip out on everybody. Spider-Man.
That's why I haven't told you.
Why
didn't you tell me, Dante?
When Harry finds out he's Spider-Man, he freaks out.
When Harry left One Direction, everyone freaked out.
It was Zane. Get it right.
Ah, damn it.
If you're going to do pop culture, do it right.
When Harry met Sally.
When Harry met Sally and then they broke up.
And then everyone freaked out.
We're off on a tangent. That scene was great. When he finds out that he's Daredevil, because he's talking about the little things that he's more upset about.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you always knew girls were hot, and
so you knew I was lying every time.
Like he wasn't.
Why didn't you say anything?
Like he does eventually get mad to the point where he's gonna kill himself. He knows he's like, you're gonna kill yourself.
My mom told me I could be a butcher.
That story is amazing. Every time he tells it,
have my own apron.
Yeah.
Meat
I could be
every
having
day.
my own corned beef right now, and it's amazing. He was great in the series.
I wanted to be a lawyer.
Wesley, I really loved in this series too.
Oh, yeah.
Wesley and him and Kingpin. That scene when he ends up dying is fantastic because he takes.
I literally thought it wasn't a loaded gun.
No, I didn't think so either. I was like,
then she fired, and he was like, "Holy shit!"
I thought it was a blank at first. I was like, because there was one bullet. I was like, no, he's still alive. And then she continues. She's like, no, Wesley.
Well, no, his face was even like, oh shit, it's loaded.
She shot it.
I didn't think she was gonna do that.
He was great.
One of my favorite things they did about this.
What?
They tied it into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, yes, they did.
Did you see the Stan Lee cameo?
I did. What part was he at? I don't remember.
It's in the end.
Is it?
Yes.
What part at the end is he in?
He doesn't make a face, like he's not like, hi, I'm Stan Lee. Behind when Hoffman.
Yeah.
When he walks up to the desk.
He's in the police station?
He's the picture in the background.
I never noticed that. That's
go back.
Cool.
It's a really cool.
I gotta watch it again. I'm watching this entire series again eventually.
But there's one it's a reoccurring
the Avengers.
Thing.
They talk about the Avengers.
They talk about the Avengers.
The attack on New York. That's what they talk about.
Well, that's the Battle of New York.
The Battle of New York. Yes.
Ben, who was another huge character,
really good,
had a framed newspaper article saying the Battle of New York, and it showed buildings collapsing. And then there was, not sure if you heard this, but in episode 10, he's talking to his editor, and he's like, this is almost as bad as the Harlem Terror.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's talking about?
No.
The Hulk versus Abomination.
Oh, wow.
That's the Harlem Terror.
I've never watched the movie. I have to watch it.
It's not bad.
We've gone from, it's really good, to it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Did you like I built that up?
I know. I was like, I gotta watch this movie. Now I can. I don't have to. I mean, before Avengers 2, I'll watch a lot of the movies.
But they had Captain America references.
They did? Yes.
S.H.I.E.L.D. references.
When did they have S.H.I.E.L.D. references?
They've said, like, agencies and shit.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Weird. They had Thor.
They had Iron Man.
Hulk.
No, because who says the line? She's like...
It's...
is it with the...
It's Ben's editor.
Is it Ben's editor?
Yeah, he says, what do you think you're gonna do? Is he gonna walk around in a giant... Is he gonna have just a suit of armor and be a billionaire playboy? Or what? Is he gonna have a magical hammer?
No, Owsley says that. When they're doing the negotiations in the building.
No.
He's like, I'd understand if... Wesley says it. He's like... Because the Russians keep getting attacked by Daredevil, and they keep saying the man in the black mask. I'd understand if you were getting hit with a magical hammer or a guy with an iron suit. It's great. I love the allusions to everything.
But all in all, I love the show. Can't wait for season 2.
You said there wasn't going to be a season 2.
There is
going to be a season 2.
I mean, I don't want there to be.
I want there to be. I think the Defender series is going to happen. Because it's shorter than all the other shows. It's like 8 episodes instead of 13.
What,
the Defenders is only 8 episodes.
What?
It's gonna be shorter, so then they're all gonna go away and get their own shows.
No.
Luke Cage is gonna be on Jessica Jones, which I think is pretty cool.
Okay.
Yes, setting
and
up for his
Iron
own
Fist
show.
is gonna get his own.
I'm surprised Jessica Jones wasn't on this show to set her up.
Wait. Luke Cage isn't getting his own show. So it is Jessica Jones first.
It's Jessica Jones first,
then Luke Cage, then Iron Fist. So I was right.
Yeah, you were right. I thought Jessica Jones was last. She's getting her own show first. They're going to set up Luke Cage, and then Luke Cage is going to set up Iron Fist, which I'm looking forward to.
Oh my god. I really hope, and you're going to call me an idiot here.
Why?
But I really hope they give Luke Cage his tiara. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know that much of Luke Cage.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
In the 70s, when he was a hero, he had a tiara that he put in his afro. It was
Are they setting him up in the 70s or current day?
I don't care when they set him up.
There's one thing I want to talk about before we go. It's a theme of the series. Two themes. Catholicism was a big theme of the series. It was very underlying. Like, I thought...
It was not underlying.
No, I thought they were going to have a lot more. Like, he saw the father. The father even I love the conversation him and the father have about the devil. Like, he doesn't believe in the devil. Do you think he exists? And he keeps interrupting the father. And he's like, did I say I was done? Oh, that's perfect. The father was great in the series, too.
Oh, yeah.
And
not his dad, the priest.
The whole thing about colors and light and day in this series. Because throughout the entire first 12 episodes... It's darkness. It's in dark. It usually happens at night.
Yeah.
When they get to the finale, after he beats Kingpin, they're in the daytime finally.
Well, it's not just that.
Really cool.
It's when him and Karen at the building.
Yeah.
And Foggy's like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And it's bright and sunny.
Yeah, it's bright and sunny. And there's also something with Kingpin with his suits, which I loved the symbolism with that. Because in the beginning, he has all the suits. He picks the same suit every day. He picks the same pins on his arms every day. When he gets involved with Vanessa, she starts lightening up his suits to a gray, silver kind of color.
Well, she picks different.
Yes. And then when he gets in the jail cell at the end, he's finally got the white suit on.
Well, what I like...
Jumpsuit. It's not the white suit yet, but it's going to be...
I think it's either episode 10 or 9. Whenever we see Wilson's backstory.
Yeah, oh god, it's perfect.
He puts the suit on and he looks in the mirror and you just see a fat child with blood
You're like,
on his
what
face.
What's happening here?
You see Wilson turn around and walk towards, and then he goes to hit the light, and it's the same kid staring at the mirror, and then turns back to see Wilson, and he's like...
Turns it off.
And turns off the light. And then you see Wilson's backstory that he killed his dad because his dad was beating the shit out of his mom.
Loved how they built up Kingpin in this series. I know you don't like the whole first
I didn't like the build-up. I liked his acting. Let me say that.
Vince was amazing as Kingpin.
He played the awkward character.
I don't think I can imagine another Kingpin now. I think I've gotten to the point where...
Michael Clark Duncan was great.
He wasn't as good.
He was good, though.
He was good.
He was the shining light in that movie.
One of the few things about that movie that was actually good.
He was really good.
No, but if you look at it as comedy, like I said earlier, it's a pretty good movie.
Alright, Batfleck. I'm Daredevil!
Oh, I hope he does good as Batman. Like, that's all I'll say. I hope he does great as Batman, but you were terrible as Daredevil.
Just come back for...
I mean, he wasn't the main problem. We're talking about the show. We're not talking about the movie.
Ben,
we'll do a review on the movie.
Ben,
we'll do...
I'm having a moment with
Ben watches our show. Okay.
Ben Affleck.
I'll stay out of this.
Just come back for Mallrats, and then you can go hide away forever.
I forgot.
Kevin Smith is looking for you.
Okay.
Come back.
But yes, we will review Daredevil on the show. We will review Green Lantern on the show because I want to put Dante through pain again.
Are we the bad movie boys now?
We're gonna be, because we're gonna have stuff to do when
we're the bad shit
when the
boys.
Comic Mania goes off the air.
All we do for you.
And you love us. So, we didn't get to talk about everything that Daredevil had to offer because you need to go watch it. We spoiled some stuff.
What are you doing watching us?
We didn't spoil the finale because I don't want to spoil that for you guys. You have to go watch it.
Did.
When he gets a suit, watch the series, please. It's some of the best.
Fall in love with Melvin as much as we did.
Melvin was a great character, by the way. So thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
If you want to talk about this in the comments, go ahead. Talk about, did you love Daredevil? What was your favorite thing about Daredevil?
If you want to meet a new pen pal, go in the comments. There's probably a person there.
It's probably just Joe.
Don't do that.
Joe, we love you. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm Zach.
I'm Dante.
And as always, like,
comment,
and subscribe.
And I hate you, Zach.
I know.
But I love them, and we'll see you in the next one.